Part two of the first look of the Cowboys in their training. First and foremost, Jay, he'll bring in interior help and the outside wide receiver here. Holden, he's another guy that's going to try to make this team the best way possible. And when we start to look at everything, these are your offensive lineman guys, and hopefully they will be able to do something for the Cowboys for the 2025 year. And look, when we start talking about players in general and what will they bring to the table, I always go with the core, right? And we see Clayton Adams with the offensive lineman guys, and he's going to work these guys out. He's not just going to be talking with the offensive linemen. He's also going to be help inputting the plays because he's your quote unquote offensive coordinator. Now, granted, you can see how massive Tyler Booker is compared to this other guy. I forgot his name at the tip of my tongue. It started with an A, man. Good Lord, it's at the tip of my tongue, but he'd be wearing 69 and pause if necessary. But y'all can put his name in the chat. He was one of the drafted guys, and he would be probably fight for a swing tackle in this spot right here, Cowboy Nation. So hopefully that will be the situation and scenario here. And just fundamentals and drills. Keep in mind, Connor Riley is your offensive line coach, by the way. But Blue, a lot of expectations for him as he will be embarking on a big, heavy duty title for the Dallas Cowboys. And that is, his title will be running back possible one, right? But with Blue, I think that he brings a lot of speed to the table. Kudos and credence to him. And when we start talking about the offensive line, feet work, so everything, they're getting the drill going, and can't wait to see that. And here's another thing. I do love this time of the season, whereas you are right there in the middle spots and places with everything. You don't know the players' names just like that. I love this part of the year. And in the back here, you see Matt Eberflus, and then, of course, this is 41, and that's Donovan. I can't wait to see what he's going to look like from an edge rush situation, and it's going to be a good thing for us, Cowboy Nation, to have a guy to have the alternate side of what Parsons brings to the table as far as his speed, burst, acceleration. Well, if you want to say a Parsons light to that, then that's Donovan, right? So you put him on the opposite side, and you can still have the rotations of Marshawn Nealon, Sam Williams, all of those boys, Tyrus Wheat, and Dante Fowler. So you got your team of NASCAR guys that's on the edge, and then you got your bigger guys that can play edge as well, like your Marshawn Nealons and your Sam Williams. So the Cowboys have a great rotation situation for the nation, and that's a good thing for us. And as they still continue to do these type of drills, the feet drills and everything getting going, I love to see their interactions with our staff, and the way that these guys gravitate towards the players is everything. That's life be life in too, by the way. And these guys, everything is on the shoulders of this particular coach, Brian Schottenheimer. First time with the silver and blue, got his sun visor hat kicked to the back and all of that great stuff. So everybody eyes will be on him and what he would do for the 2025 season. Here's what my thoughts are initially, right? When you look at what he brings to the table and you think to yourself, this team, camaraderie will be one of the main focal points. Culture shifting will be another thing. And on top of that, commitment. This guy is really a player's coach, but with strict guidelines. Like, if you mess up, I've seen him. If you mess up, false start, you get to the back of the line. Dak Prescott, you throw an INT back to the end of the line. So that continuity, that type of coaching style is fresh. I think that he challenged the room and he raised the bar for everyone. And I love that. And that's leadership 101. These guys will be prepared. Granted, I know in the past we've been talking about preparations, and I ain't talking about H over here. I'm talking about preparation from the Cowboys. And it's been one of those things where we technically we were not prepared for many of games. And You can go through the history in the last 4 or 5 years to pick out which game I'm talking about. Now, Shavon Revo, he is running. He's not cutting to 100%, but he is cutting on the knee, and he is going in and out of his stance. That is a good thing. And he's built to part, right? Bigger DB, and we know how that goes when you start talking about Matt Eberflus and his kind of caliber of players that he's looking for. Tenacity. He's looking for someone to come down, hit, and feel. And it's good to see Shavon Revo that looks the part, that he's ready, really ready to get things going. Now, the unknown. I know that there's known knowns and there's known unknowns. And then there are things that we have to consider that the Cowboys, with undrafted guys, you got to give them grace and mercy. Like I always say.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
And that's Josh Kelly. Hopefully he can turn some heads in training camp if he make it that far and get things moving and grooving. And that is number 14, Joshua Kelly. And he got good hands. He's solid with that. And that's one thing that pop out on his tape, although he didn't run a fast 40 time, but he's right there. Now, this is Steve Simcoe, right? And as well as the tryout quarterback, Donovan, I think his last name is Smith, though. When we start thinking about quarterbacks in general, one rule of thumb with the Cowboys, never to count any of these guys out, even though he may be just a camp arm for right now. It's always, hey, I got a walking, living resume, and I'm trying to better my best, and I'm trying to get people to turn their heads into seeing what I can bring to the table. And hopefully he can make that impressions. Remember, you only get one shot at it. And Mafia, oh my God, that's going to be our big running back here. We're going to have power. We're going to have finesse. We're going to have lightning. We're going to have thunder. Well, he's on the thunder side of it. He's on the power side of it. And he's a one-cut runner, get upfield, got a little wiggle to his burst, but he's a guy that can really bring the pounding to you if necessary when he's out there on the field. And speaking of that, you guys going to have to help me out with who is this reaching and stretching and catching this. I couldn't find the full number on the other side, but good catch, by the way. Good catch. And back to Mafia, we're going to call him Blue Mafia. Blue is going to be Jadon Blue, right? And he's going to be the Mafia side of it. And I can't wait to see how all of this work out. We got the best of both worlds, and I can't wait to see how these worlds are going to really work for us in the best way possible, Cowboy Nation. So just looking at this drill, looking at this handoff, hopefully Simcoe can see something out of him and say, hey, you know what? Let's bring him in for Oxnard. You need camp arms anyway. And this guy, they tried to convert him to a wide receiver in college, and it didn't really work for him on that because he wanted to be a quarterback all the way through and through. So he's fast. He had like 7 to 8 touchdowns in college last season just by running. So and about 13 in the air, so and close to 3,000 yards. So he is a guy that's versatile to a degree, and we'll see what kind of things that they will allow him to do if heading out to Oxnard. And with all of that being said, one of the things that I'm going to tell you guys, just by this picture alone, just looking at this picture and seeing how the coaching staff themselves look like they were ready to play football, is amazing to me, because I've been watching these tapes for many of years, and normally the energy be a little bit down, and the coaches really don't be in shape that way. So not saying that these boys should put on silver and blue and the helmet on and get out there on the field, but at least you can see these guys, they look like they can play football, and they are really in tune into this particular drill there. And we got Coach Jerry Wayne Jones. He's the coach, he's the owner, he's the GM, he's the water boy, he's the team psychologist. He's everything out there. So when Jerry comes out there, you rarely see him without that jacket too. Jerry kind of coaching up them boys. He's also a motivational speaker too. You got to get ready to get in or get out, right? And you got to be hungry, huh? Jerry is probably telling those individuals some of my quotes. Everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. That's what he's saying to the group of individuals right here. And can't wait to see how this will work out. A lot of fan favorite for Childress, right? A guy that can really play that nickel, or you can play him at the strong or free safety. He got those capabilities, and I'm gonna tell y'all, he may be a lot of folks' dark horses, or he may be the wild card of this particular undrafted free agent class. But we'll find out down the stretch, and let's see what he can do. All eyes will be fixated on him and seeing what he can bring to the table. Coach Jerry motivating, telling people, hey, you can be a billionaire too if you walk and understand the nature of this game. Walk the walks and talk the talks. Do as I say, and everything will be the best way. That's what Jerry said, allegedly. And these three amigos, you got Will McClay. You also have Jerry Wayne and things, and his son, where your jacket at? You got to start wearing the jacket. And I believe that's Stephen Jones. It could be someone else, but I think that is Stephen Jones. Yep. That's Stephen Jones and Jerry and Willie McClay. And there's Tyler, with the other offensive lineman guy whose name is still at the tip of my tongue. And that's the new, one of the coaches right there, I believe. Assistant wide receiver coach, something like that. Y'all can help me out with that. And this Jerry still giving advice to the running back room, saying, hey, I can't find another Emmitt Smith, but hopefully if I combine you two, y'all can be half of what he is, and we can fool around and win multiple games down the stretch, because that's how it goes. It's the motivator, Jerry Wayne and things, Yeah. So clean hat too, by the way. You got to give him a star for that hat. That's a dope hat. And these guys, they got to earn the star. Yeah. I petition that they don't even have stars on their sleeves. All right. So this is Coach Lunda Wells. Great guy, great coach with the tight ends. And he was also in play with the offensive line situation. But granted, we got him back as the coach for the tight ends, and he's going to do a great job with this team, especially in that department. Real thorough guy. All right, so that's Mafia again, Phil Mafia again, just working on his landmarks with his feet. And then last but not least, that is Donovan, the edge rusher, and the Nigerian Tommy right here with Will McClay thinking, hey, did I do it again on a later round draft pick? Do I have the secret sauce to it all? We'll find out, Cowboy Nation. All right, so post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below, Cowboy Nation. This particular team, it's a little different, y'all. I think that they added all of the pieces that is necessary for this team, and we'll find out and figure out down the stretch of where this team will be at for the 2025 season. Hey, I think that this team found out their identity, and that identity is running the ball, playing sound defense, being able to shut things down as it relates to that run too. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. Y'all figure out that guy's name, 69. I'm everywhere with him. DC for life, not for short. Peace.